This tutorial covers the concept of both a visit and encounter. This and other documentation tutorials will give you the technical knowledge to use the various tools that create the SOAP note, invoice, and claim. A patient visit is created and recorded when you drag and drop a patient into the queue, as can be seen if we click on the Edit Patient icon here. Open the Episode and Encounters subtab. You can clearly see the visit that essentially states that this patient came into this office on a specific day. You'll notice that we have not yet noted what practitioner has been seen, nor will you yet see documentation of any kind. We need to create the encounter, which will show that detail. To create the encounter, we need to go to the patient care screen to start it. To start the encounter, simply drag and drop the patient into the Start Treatment box here. Let's go back into the patient information screen to see the encounter we just created. We now have a record of this patient being seen by a specific practitioner during the specific visit. Some visits will have 2 or more encounters, as can be seen here during this sample visit. This patient saw the chiropractor first, which created a distinct chart note and billable event. Then, during the same visit, they saw the massage therapist, which also created a separate and distinct chart note and billable event. Let's close the patient information screen. You have already seen how you can locate at any time a patient's visit and encounter once created from the patient information screen. We also have a work list that you can use to quickly locate and reopen, what we refer to as open encounters. Open encounters are encounters that the staff or the practitioner have started but not yet finished. This mimics a stack of paper file folders on your desk, if you are using paper documentation. The list is automatically sorted by practitioner. You can further sort this list by the patient's name, or by date of service, by simply clicking on the title. Just as with your old paper documentation methods, be careful not to get too far behind. From the Business tab, your billing staff has access to the exact same list. This will enable your staff to help you manage your documentation efforts, as well as to help ensure they do not print unfinished documentation that needs to be sent along with some paper claims. Back in the Patient Care tab, the last thing I want to show you is the Open Encounters checkbox located at the bottom of the RCT screen above the action buttons. At the top of the full editor next to the action buttons, and at the top of the super bill, the practitioner needs to make a decision about whether or not they are done documenting before they save and exit out of an encounter or send this encounter to billing. Yes, if you have documented both the diagnosis codes and the procedure codes, and you know the SOAP note doesn't need to be sent along with the claim, you could leave the Open Encounters checkbox checked to remind you to finish the rest of the documentation later and send to billing. The claim will go out today, and you can finish the rest of the documentation later, if you find yourself getting behind. If you are done documenting and you want to send this encounter to billing, simply uncheck the box and submit the date of service to billing for claim and or invoice creation, regardless of whether you want a claim to be sent to an insurance company or if this is a cash patient. You will select Send to Billing for all of your patients when you are ready to have them charged for their visit. Remember, as a matter of your practice's process, you will want to determine whose responsibility it is to start the encounters. See the Process tutorial in the Getting Started tutorial section for clarification. It is imperative that your practice's team understand who does what and when.